Hey, you're one of 12 listeners of the Real Life Podcast, brought to you by Rig Hand Distilleries.
Boy, I'll tell you,
Oh, where did that come from?
that's the Yale fight song, buddy.
You weren't here last week.
No, I missed it.
Okay.
New anthem.
Missed 1 week, and the show is completely flipped upside down. So this is now a cat podcast.
Yeah.
We talk
Excellent.
cats.
We polled our listeners, and they want us to
Talk more
the
cats.
felines,
There's
yeah.
a couple of guys in the cat biz, bag milk. We're not too sad to hear about that.
Hey, you know what? I can talk cats all day, and I
All
will.
day. They're cute.
Adorable.
They meow.
So that's the Yale fight song, buddy. So
Okay.
anti-Chiarelli, anti-Harvard, pro-Yale, pro-fight song. It's all tongue-in-cheek.
Question then. Does the Oilers winning some games make you nervous that there won't be changes up top? Is Hitchcock going to save him?
You know, can we just have a moment to enjoy ourselves at the 7-2-1 record in the last 10?
Well, we also need to celebrate the fact that we were on a pretty good route since we switched to the fight song.
Oh, yeah. This last
So, like,
week has changed everything for me.
Let's show the song some respect. here.
Exactly.
Need some respect.
Show
That was
Yale
nice.
some respect.
Put some respect on my name.
That's right.
I'd like to play brass instruments. Seems fun.
I feel like this podcast is turning into our slow and eventual decline into insanity. Like last week, we're like, man, I'm going to go punch someone in the face at the OEG. And this week, I'm like, they're doing a fine job over there. Sign me up for all the merchandise for Christmas.
I saw you almost bought a 50% off Ryan Strome jersey.
Can you
last night.
believe the gall these people have selling Ryan Strome jerseys?
Just put a new patch on them or
Make
something.
them Morrow jerseys and sell classics or something.
What
Craig
store-
Simpson?
what
I'd buy
store was
Craig
that
Simpson.
at?
That was the concourse at Rogers Place.
You think they'd have a protocol for when somebody gets traded,
50% off.
but that's not. I don't feel like that's the best way to go about it.
No, I would tend to agree.
Take the patching off, reuse the jerseys.
Don't think that Ryan Strome jerseys would sell in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. They probably sold two before it was 50%.
Yeah,
off, when he was
to the
an active
Strome
player.
parents. No disrespect to Ryan Strome. He's just no Jordan Eberle, and he's certainly no Spooner.
Cuddles.
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 I'll tell you, though, who's looking good, even though he's probably one of the worst on-ice interviews in the history of professional sports, is Koskinen.
Oh, easy answer.
Like, man, he is looking so steady. He made a couple saves last game that were just like, most goalies aren't making those saves. And I feel like the Oilers haven't had a most goalies are gonna make that save goalie in ages. They have goalies that are like, oh man, nobody else is gonna let that shit in but ours, right? Like
Who was the last one?
Talbot was good in the playoff year.
He was.
Yeah, he was awesome.
He was stellar. Prior to that,
Rolo.
Rolly?
Son.
Yeah, Rolly.
probably.
And then Cujo in the zone before that.
Oh, Cujo, yeah.
But we have to be honest. You can't look at Kostinen's getting the job done, and I'm all about results. I wish I would just not watch him play in the net, and then just see the score and be like, oh yeah, he's awesome. But he's scary at the same time.
What do you mean?
He's all over the place. He's 6'7". He covers the lower half of the net tremendously. He's so good with his legs, but his fundamentals or his technical abilities when it comes are non-traditional. And maybe I'm a traditionalist when it comes to goaltending.
You want Gump Worsley, no mask, that type of deal?
Yeah, it's too much helmet and too much padding. But I just he gets the job done. So I watch it. I'm just I'm nervous, but also calm about it.
You're probably having PTSD from the monster.
Oh,
jeez.
that-
But there's some monster-esque maneuvers.
Right. Is that because he's a big boy,
Where
though?
you see him? No. When you have him facing the wrong side
Yeah.
of the net, making a save,
Yeah.
that's monster-esque.
Exactly.
Does that mean he just has lightning in a bottle right now, and you think it's gonna wear out?
He could it honestly could just be a factor of he's like a Hasek or who's just a water buffalo freaking flip-flopping around the net.
last night it was actually my first time at Rogers Place of the season last night.
Were
But
you
I,
at the game last night?
yeah.
Oh, for the season.
For the season, yeah.
not ever.
So I sat close enough to actually get a good look at Koskinen. He is a fucking unit, man. That guy is gigantic.
Yeah.
So big. And the thing is he's got it's his size and he's got athletic ability, and that's what makes him a good goalie. He's not just your prototypical play the angles, technical goalie. He is just flopping all over the place.
It was my first time. I went to the game and sat lower bowl.
I was also lower bowl. Oh,
In the corner? Where?
Jeez.
I think I was actually a few rows above you.
Oh, well, thanks for the hello.
What's that?
Facebook
I didn't
told me
notice
the other
until-
day we were friends for 10 years, and you won't even say, what up?
I didn't notice until I looked at your Instagram, kind of seeing the levels of
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I
we're
thought you
at.
guys were together because you guys were the same height, but maybe just different corners of the arena.
Maybe, because straight across from me, did you see the guy with the weed flag?
Yes. Okay, I was in the other corner, but I did see. Did
Okay.
security put him in a box and take him out or what?
I don't know.
Guy had a Canada flag, Jay, with a weed flag instead of the maple leaf. And he started like shaking it with his buddies. I'm like, those guys are going to get kicked out. That's like a G worth of seats. But they kept hiding it and then bringing it back and hiding it. There was
What's
a lot
the
of
motivation for that?
I don't know.
Just show everybody that you smoke
They
weed.
love weed, man.
Yeah,
Cool,
legal.
man.
Legal weed. Why not?
National game?
It's like wearing another jersey to a game. You're just doing it to be different.
Saw a guy in a Leafs jersey last night.
Oh, that drives me nuts.
That's
Saw a guy in
I
a
hate
Golden Knights
that.
jersey.
I
Which
hate that.
James Neal. Fine.
Yeah, okay, I can respect that. If it's of a player that's playing on the ice from another team, I can get behind it because you're a fan of that player. But yeah, I just
And
I
James
just
Neal,
don't-
he
Who
sucks.
knows, man? Maybe they're visiting from Bolivia, and the fact they have a hockey jersey is amazing.
No.
You know they're not from Bolivia?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you know a Bolivian when you see one. So let me ask you this. We were talking about this last night at the game. If you were going to have a terrible contract and you admit it's going to be terrible, who would you rather have in your books, Neil or Lucic?
Neil.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know what's going on with Neil. Like he's not far.
That fight makes up for a lot of stuff. Two bad games. I see him fight.
Yeah,
but
how much
give in
has
a little
Luch
bit.
fought this year?
Twice.
Twice
Twice so
okay.
far.
That's it. It
So
feels like more than
we
that.
have guys that can chuck hammers that
For
can
much
fill
less.
that.
But you'd rather have Neil over Lucic?
I think, well, obviously Neil's cheaper for one. A
little bit cheaper.
Lot more offensive upside. I don't know what's going on in Calgary, like in terms of like how he's not a fit there. I don't really care to know because I don't pay enough attention to the team. If I did, I could probably tell you. But yeah, so I
Maybe
think
he's
I'd
just
rather have Neil,
aging like Jordan Stahl.
But having said that, bringing up Lucic as a subject, now that like this, the identity line, we as the nation need to come up with a name for this line.
It's a
than
terrible
this.
line.
So like that's them trying to tell us what to think. We need to tell them what's up. So we'll figure that out. But
I like the identity line.
When you remove the expectation of Luch having to score and just going around and hitting guys and just like knocking pucks loose and whatever, that line is just, I love it.
I thought he played great last night.
And
Yeah, I did too.
Hitch is putting these guys in like serious roles, like shut down the top line roles. Like it's so when you watch that and they're getting the job done, they're not scoring. Lucic probably should have 3 goals in the last week, but whatever. He's snake bitten, and we'll
You know what I like about
we'll work on
Lucic?
that.
The underrated body shot in the fight. He does that a lot. Have you noticed that?
Oh yeah,
He gives body blows. You don't see that often.
because he's a boxer. So
Smart.
he gets it. So like if he's just looking for that open shot, 'cause he's trying to hurt the guy across from him. And that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
And
He knows that might make his arm fall down, like make his arm lower. He'll get better shots. In.
Peluso looked concerned.
Wow,
He looked mad when it got broken
sending
up, too.
Thank you cards to the linesman for jumping
Yeah,
in so
saving
early.
his
What
life.
the
No,
hell is
what are you
going
talking
on?
about?
There was no reason for them to jump in.
Yeah, but he looked mad about it. He was freaking out.
Oh, of course, acting.
It seemed like as soon as they knocked Lucic knocked his bucket off, they were just right in.
Yeah.
They don't want the guy to fall.
Yeah,
There was a lot I could see. Like, I very rarely ever sit lower bowl. So I'm a tier 2 fan for life, even though that's not what it means, John. There was I can't see the far corner, and that's fine. I find myself watching on the scoreboard, which defeats the purpose of going to a hockey game because the scoreboard is your TV at home, and that costs $0.00. However, the stuff you can see in the lower bowl is amazing. Connor did a swoop play right in front of me, about 40 feet, and you could probably sit in Rogers Place until the end of time. And if Connor McDavid's not an Oiler, you'll never see a play that good. Like, the game is so fast when you're down there.
Oh, yeah.
And Gravel, our boy there, he was looking. Maybe the game's so fast, but like there's a few times where I was watching him make breakouts and it looked like he was kind of at like beer league speed and everybody else was at like
I think
NHL
Gravel's
go
fine.
mode.
I think he's actually turning into just a steady, kind of simple, doesn't make too many mistakes defenseman.
I think the best part about Gravel is when you don't notice him at all.
So
He got a lot of ice.
Did
last night, it seemed
Did
like.
Gravel come back after he got plowed by Hathaway there? Because
I think so.
Did he get hammered?
Yeah, you got nailed. Got decked. There's some big hits last night.
Lucic,
Oh, yeah.
who'd he
Oh.
smoke?
Lucic, that was Hamonic.
Oh,
He's
Lucic
so
just
and
destroyed
Benning
Hammond.
on Peluso.
Oh,
Yeah.
crushed
Holy
him.
cow! There were some freaking bombs last night
It wasn't as feisty as I was expecting based on the game we saw in Calgary.
because it was tight scoring. I think.
that disallowed goal, like, Oilers fans are the best fans in the world, and the fact anyone's even paying attention to this team is beyond amazing to me. We cheered louder for a disallowed goal then most NHL teams get an ovation when they score. Like, it was a standing O, basically, when the goal got disallowed.
I really thought that one could go either way.
I did too.
I thought it was
They
going
were
to count
talking-
for sure.
Yeah, because they're talking about how he didn't stop the goalie from being able to make a play on the puck. And when you looked at it from above, he really, I mean, he was there, but Koskinen could have got over a little further.
Well,
Come
but
on,
it was kind of.
Hey, I was happy as all hell.
Louis
I'm just
DeBrusk
saying,
said
like-
he's like they'll call this off, and I was like, for Louis to say that was good, but to take that back a step before the goal score. So Bob Cole's calling the game.
Yeah.
He's doing his Canada-wide tour, and they're putting so much pressure in the zone on Edmonton before that goal. He's like, with this kind of pressure, something could happen, and literally half a second later in the net. It's like, God damn it, Bob! You're
Bob
so
Cole
wise.
knows.
Didn't he also incorrectly say that we were chanting defense, 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 and we were chanting like Lucic or something? So,
I don't know. Is that?
yeah, there's something. The Bob Cole tribute I thought was really nice.
I thought that
I
they-
didn't get to see it.
They didn't show it on TV?
I don't.
Oh,
Well, I missed, full disclosure, I missed the first period.
I was going back and forth from the football game, so I probably missed that too.
oh, that's weird.
This
boys
is why
have-
everyone complains about Chalmers in the podcast.
Was it high school?
He prioritizes
Yeah.
football over Oilers hockey, and that might have been one of the worst NFL games of all time.
Was it
last
Texas
night.
high school football you were watching, or was it at least professional?
It was at
ranks?
least professional. It wasn't horrible. It was arguably one of the best offenses going against one of the best defenses, so it should have been a lot of fun. And it
Oh
was
man,
just
don't tell me it
low
was the
scoring.
Jaguars against the Buccaneers.
Nope, wrong.
I don't even know if those are the right sports.
Well, they are. That was pretty good. Two
thank
Florida
you.
teams too. You must really like the Florida
Oh,
teams.
you know I do. Florida football for
What's
life.
the third Florida football team?
That's a good point.
Jesus.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, exactly. The
Dan
Gators.
Marino.
The Gators is a football team. It's the college squad, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, there's a lot of Florida football college squads.
A lot of people in
It's
Florida.
the Miami Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
Gregor's favorite team. You should know that.
Gregor. I know him.
I know you do.
Yeah. Gregor had his plaid party, and I saw the frying pan was out on Instagram, Jay, and I
was
saw you
there.
in there.
Yeah, I was there for the frying pan. Gregor is his life hack, if you will, if you want to call this one, but he swears by, oh, buddy, it's the best thing ever. You serve shots on a pan, you don't make a mess, it's the cleanest thing ever.
Yeah.
As opposed to our hand shots.
Which was an innovation.
hand shots
The
is like
worst
this
mess
is
in the world.
prehistoric. That's just being resourceful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Being primal.
Like,
at
who's
that
got
point.
time or the money to buy shot glasses
Nobody.
when you've got one
Gregor.
in your hand? It's just like Steve Jobs. Like, why do you need the stylus when you've got five? On your
Exactly.
hand?
You've got your own
You've
shot
already got
glass.
2 shot glasses.
We'll talk about a little bit more after the break, but the Nation Christmas party was on Friday, and Chalmers, you wheeled in there, and everybody I talked to was like, that's the funniest person I've ever talked to my entire life. And I was like, that's why he's on the podcast.
Well, maybe we should start doing
That's why he's on the
podcasts at
podcast.
1 o'clock in the morning.
He
at
would
the
be
pint.
on fire.
And to preface that, we went bowling for Act 1 of the Nation Party. Chalmers wasn't there. He came after and just bowled all of us over.
Oh, yeah.
He came in, strike.
Do you remember when you met Avery?
Oh yeah.
That was great. So our good friend Avery Sports, friend of the show, love Avery. Avery is like a sports reporter in town, and he wears a fedora.
Sure
Yep.
does.
Many
Chalmers-
fedoras.
And Chalmers and I are standing at the end of the bar drinking shots, and he looks at Avery, goes, who the hell is this? He looks like Rocky's trainer. Go get him, Rocky. And Avery like lit up because he's so happy, right? He's like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, he is. Avery's going to be a fight trainer in 2060.
Yeah, he's just a
Total
cigar.
fight trainer.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, I've been wearing fedoras in these streets for the last 70 years, Rocky. Oh man, that was funny. You were in fine.
That was
form.
fun. So I came from the hockey game. I finally took the tickets I'd been getting offered and went.
See, you're
and
inching your way
Yeah.
towards being back in the fan.
3-1 after like the first 8 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
I was back. I was
Didn't
happy
you
to
win a
have
bunch
gone.
of money because of the Edmonton
I sure
Oilers?
did.
Exactly.
Yeah, the over was hit. I got to relax come mid-second. That's what helped me get so riled up. Before
That
I got
reminds
to
me
where
of
you guys
Florida
were.
football. You know, a couple minutes into the first quarter, they've covered the spread and the game's out of reach. And I say to myself, this is why I got back into football.
Those are the best ones, man.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't get back into
can tell you
football.
don't know.
Let's take a break. Real life podcast. Back after this.
Have you got holes to dig, earth to pack, and roads to build? Then you need to call Japa Machinery Group. Does your equipment need a service? You can't fix stupid, but here at Japa Machinery Group, we can fix everything else. With a full range of parts to keep your equipment running smoothly. Japa Machinery Group is a family-operated and Alberta-grown business. Here to help build a bigger and better Western Canada. Give us a call or visit us at japamachinery.com. Japa Machinery Group. Join the family.
Nipsey.
I'm going to see that voice next week.
Oh, I keep forgetting to think about it when he's talking.
Yeah, that is Josh trying to be like a roughneck oilman.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
They say
good.
the Australian accent's the hardest one for actors to lose, and sometimes they'll slip back to it in the middle of a scene. For real. The Hemsworths, I have to work out with vocal coaches all the time because it's like in them. They've got like a bogan accent. And they'll just let out a crikey for no reason. Crikey! Getting back to the Nation Christmas party, I'll tell you, it is hilarious to just see everybody as the night goes on, right? Like I spent 4,000 or 5,000 nights of my life in the Pint, but like everybody starts out and it's like, oh, this is my girlfriend, this is my wife, this is my husband, everybody, how do you do? Secret handshakes all the way around. And you fast forward to the end of the night and people have like lost their codes and someone accidentally ate a piece of the Jenga game and more shots are still arriving. It was a dilly of a party.
A
A dilly.
Just a dilly.
It was just nice to see all the nerds out from underneath their computers.
Hey,
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Well, it's funny
you're one
to
of
see
those
what-
nerds now.
Nerd alerts.
It's funny to see what a $1,500 bar bill.
Is that what I was going to ask? Because you know what the nice part.
Yeah, everyone was in a festive mood.
Yeah.
And, we had the whole squad. Some of them brought the significant others. So we actually had some numbers.
And you posted up right where I thought you would.
Oh, yeah. Always.
I love that spot.
That's our strip.
Yeah, it's a good zone.
That's our strip.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to do what they did last year and put us in that side room.
Oh, yeah. No, that's
Oh, the side room's got no
that's
life.
the fun vacuum. That takes you away, unless you have your own like programming going on in there where you want to be removed. That's not a good place.
You left at the right time too. About 25 minutes after you left, straight up, I almost got into a fight.
Oh, wow.
So I'm standing against the wall, you know how I do, posting up, looking at everybody. And I'm like right on the far side of the Pint with like the separation between the two rooms, right? So there's like the wall, and then there's a strip, and then there's the bar. And I'm standing there minding my own business, doing nothing to anybody. And some guy walks by and goes, why don't you get the fuck out of the way? And I've had 800 shooters at this point, and my brain is mostly alcohol. And I go to chirp him, and he's missing a tooth.
Oof.
And I'm like, well, I'm going to work with this. I'm going to work with what I'm given. I'm like, I'm sorry. Are you missing a tooth? In 2018, if I was missing a tooth, I wouldn't go around the bar acting like a jackass or I get my other tooth knocked out too. And the look on his eyes, it was just, you could tell he was so vulnerable about missing a tooth for whatever reason. That's when I went and got a donaire. That was the end of the Christmas party for me. See you later, Toothy Joe.
I'm glad we're talking about the party in the tab because I forgot to pay the tab.
Oh,
I talked to everybody.
So, I know. Rick sent me a text with a photo of the tab.
Perfect.
I'm going to go pay the tab.
Yeah.
We pay our tabs.
Yes, we pay.
they're
our
like,
tab.
you're not getting away with not paying this one.
Oh yeah, when it's that size, like sometimes you can get a free a berry salad or whatever the hell they have there.
Yeah,
but,
Terry Berry.
Terry Berry, there we
Delicious.
go.
That's one of the best salads in the league.
It is good. Yeah, I'm a fan.
It was a good party. I liked the bowling. It was one thing that I really appreciated about this year's Nation Christmas party is the competitive spirit of everybody that works at this place.
Everyone wants it.
Bowling. What we did is we had 3 lanes. We split the group into tiers as if they were leagues. There was the NHL on the far right. There was the AHL in the middle, ECHL down on the bottom. People were moving up and down.
You told me you sucked at bowling. I couldn't go to the bowling part. I went to the after party where I tried to be an amateur dentist to remove people's teeth. But I looked and saw a pretty high score put up on Instagram from a guy who claimed he isn't good at bowling.
Listen, my first game, I didn't come close to hitting 100. I got demoted right quick.
We need parameters here.
Well, we also
5 or 10 pin.
It's 5 pin.
pin.
You also have to remember a perfect game in 5 pin is 450.
Where was this at?
Bonnie
Bonnie
Doon.
Doon Lanes. Have you
Bonnie-
ever been there?
Buddy, I grew up at Bonnie Doon Lanes.
That
My
thing
grandma
is
lived over in
huge.
You
Hardisty.
grew up at Bonnie Doon Lanes.
My grandma lived at Hardisty. So like
Hardisty, Alberta?
no, like the Hardisty area, or I don't even know.
Jeez.
Did you just make up a neighborhood?
Exactly.
No,
I
it's-
lived in Green
I think
Acres.
It's like in Capilano or something.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so we'd go to Bonnie Doon with my grandma, me and
Yeah.
my sister, and we'd bowl every weekend because that's we.
Are you a
stay-
good bowler then?
No, because I went bowling on Saturday
memory.
at noon for a birthday party. Like I wasn't going bowling; it was a kid's birthday party. But
I
then
assume it was
bowled
an adult
afterwards.
birthday party.
Anyways, no, I'm not good at bowling.
Oh.
So to find out that you hit 100 on 5 pin bowling,
Bowled
is
100. Nobody hits nothing in bowling.
bowled 100.
There we
Sorry.
go.
Well,
So
Bonnie Doon
I was shooting for
Lanes-
100. That was my goal.
No.
So when I went past that, my third game ended up being my best at like 136 or something like that. I was pumped. I'll frame that
36
shit.
is huge.
That's huge.
I'll frame that shit.
What'd you name yourself again?
I was Agged Milk because some of the letters didn't work.
There's some keyboard limitations.
Yeah. Chris, the intern, though, putting up a 200.
Oh,
Is
he
that for-
opened up. So we had the final. So once we did our 3 rounds, we had like the Champions League final. So the 4 highest scores from the last round of whatever relegation round or we want to call it all went into the last pool for the finals. and Chris comes out. Like Chris just scraped in to get in. Like he was the 4th seed, and proceeds to go strike to open it up.
Oh,
and
turkey.
In 5 pin, he has like 120 points after like 4 frames. You're like, this guy's gonna bowl like 1,000.
I'm getting flashbacks here. Remember our Wii bowling era?
Oh, I do.
When all we cared about was Wii bowling?
That was on your big tube TV.
Oh, yeah.
Loved Wii bowling.
Living in Belmead. Like, moved all the furniture out of the way,
Yeah,
and
it
all
was
we did
good.
was Wii bowl for
You guys were like the
hours and
first
hours
ones
and
I knew
hours.
with a Wii too.
Oh.
We got it early. Remember our scam?
Oh yeah,
We were driving to the Jaw?
driving back from the job.
Driving
yeah.
back from the Jaw one year, and we're talking about life and hustles, and you know how you do. We're like, you know what we should do? We should buy a bunch of shit and sell it, and then make a bunch of money. And we went to like a rural
Well, we knew
superstore.
Wii's were moving
Yeah.
like crazy, so we're like, I
For
bet you in
Christmas.
Saskatchewan they've still got some.
We went to a
do
superstore
you
in the
bought
middle
like
of
4,
nowhere.
didn't you?
Yeah, sold them all off, and then rather than getting profit, we kept a Wii, then spent a shitload of money on games. Then I took a week off work one point because I was literally so into Wii bowling. It's all I cared about.
Did you ever get to the point where you were just doing it with your hand, sitting down?
Oh, no.
Oh, you were
Oh.
full force.
I still like. I felt like I had more control when I was.
Me too. Plus, you're reinforcing your technique.
Yeah.
Man,
Well, it's
Wii was
exercise.
fun. What the hell
Wii was
happened to
awesome.
where did our Wii go?
It's somewhere.
Probably threw it out the window.
So
at a
back to
party.
your weekend bowling. How many games do you think you played in one night? 3?
Yeah, we played 3 games.
3. Were your legs hurting the next day?
No, I'm
You're an athlete.
I'm in peak physical fitness.
Despite a broken
We went
spine.
bowling.
My shoulder and elbow hurt.
But this,
Hold
I
the
guess
foot.
that was 10 pin. But anyways,
Oh, 10
I
pin.
remember
Well,
the
you're-
next
you're-
day,
those- the
my
bowls-
glutes from
Sorry.
doing all those squats. Yeah. Well, think about when you're bowling, you do a little squat every time, a little lunge.
Yeah. 10
Right?
pin's
You
a
play
different
3.
beast, though, because you got like a 20-pound weight where 5 pin, it's just a feather you're throwing.
Yeah.
It was
That's
interesting
the
to see
point.
everybody's approach too. Like Jay was just gunning it down Broadway.
Smoke.
I was trying to do the spin on it. So sometimes it was real embarrassing.
It can be.
Triple gutter balls, like it was just it just happens, man.
One time I went to Gateway Lanes. Like, I don't know, I was
Great
19. This is you won't enjoy 10-pin bowling after this story. And there's like a whole bunch of people there. It was like a function of some variety. And I'm like, bowling, I'll show you kids how it's done. I put my finger into a bowling ball, and it was like I hit a slug at the end of the hole. And whatever it was, like I just was like in that hole. And I was like, I'm not 10-pin bowling ever again. I don't know what if I put my finger through the center of the earth. I don't know what that was.
That's disgusting.
So now every time I go bowling, I'm like, ugh, and I don't want to put my finger too far into the hole.
That's why
and
you
then
gotta have short fingers like me. Mine don't make it to the ends.
And then I rock like a 8 weight because I don't want to put my fingers all the way in. And people
Oh,
are like,
it's
look
funny.
at that man, daddy. He has no arm strength.
Like we go, like we're on a boys trip and we're 10-pin bowling our asses off.
Yeah, we are.
Right, and you're just finger banging all of these different balls.
Jeez Louise.
And then at the same time, you're like, order a wings, please. And like, whatever, just eating the wings, wiping your face. Like,
if you're putting wings down the finger hole, that may have been what
It's
I hit.
just dawning on me how gross 10-pin bowling actually is.
Remember that time in Chicago we went to that hipster bowling lane?
yeah, it was great.
In the middle of in the middle of the business district in Chicago, they had a bowling alley.
It was like a nightclub bowling. They had they had the tunes going.
Middle of the day.
video. Yeah, it was great.
Damn.
Great pregame.
Luckily, I'd been training on the Wii for 15 years prior to that point and was a well-oiled bowling machine.
So then you bowled, and then you guys probably spent an hour and a half, 2 hours there.
Little gift exchange.
Little gift exchange.
Little gift
Was this
exchange?
a
Was it the
Secret Santa or
what's
what
the
kind?
One that's, what is it? A Chinese gift
I
exchange
don't
where you
think
can
I was
steal?
not going to say.
Can we say Chinese gift exchange 15 seconds after you said finger banging balls?
I think sure. Why
So
not?
that's the one where you get a gift, and then the next person takes a gift, and either before they open it or after they open it, they can decide whether or not they're going to take the one that was just presented.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, they could steal your gift or head back into the pile and try your luck.
Oh, so it's okay, yeah, because you don't get to open it first and then decide.
No.
Jay had the very rare double steal against him.
Oh, just like I got 2 really good gifts, and because I'm going on a trip here right away, and they had each gift had like a fun game to play with your crew that you're traveling with, and it just set up so nicely. So I get the first one, it gets stolen. Then I get the second one, which was like a mirror image of that other gift, but just a different theme, because it was a husband and wife combo. So I picked it because it was wrapped the same.
Yeah,
Like
so you
similar
knew it was
style.
this.
So
I
I'm like,
get it.
it's got to be similar. And so I pick it up, and sure as shit, I'm like, yes. And then it got stolen by Jeffy.
And so how into the gift exchange was this? Did you only have like a couple left, and you were home free with the second gift, or was it like right off the bat?
Well, I got picked off in the first steal right off the bat by Dan, And then I got the new one and I held on to it for a while. And then Jeffy, because there was Super Mario ornaments in it.
Oh,
Yeah. So he stole that from me, and that was late. And then, I guess I can tell you where I ended up with this. Sorry, Jared. I'm not going to sewer. It's not a sewer job.
This gift was hilarious.
So I get 2 of these gifts. Every time I got a gift, I was like, yes, this is so good for my trip. I'm trying to make a case to everyone why they shouldn't take it from me.
You're bringing too much attention.
Because it means
Bad
so
move.
much. Well, it's all about salesmanship. Sometimes if you get a shitty gift, you have to try to pump it up and try to sell it.
That's maybe what people thought you were doing.
No, well,
like Ryan Strome?
No. I was trying to say I really want to keep this. If you have any respect for me, you will not steal this gift. Clearly, there's no respect. Stolen twice. So then I've got. So now I'm near the end. There's 2 gifts to pick from: Coombs and Jared's. And knowing Coombs a crazy cat, I'm like, I'm not picking his because who knows what. In hindsight, seeing what he put in there, I'm glad I didn't. And then I picked this beautifully wrapped gift. It's a small package. They always say nice things come in small packages, but beautifully wrapped. And I open it up. It's got an Amazon sticker. I'm like, oh, someone orders on Amazon. This is like even better. I'm like, wow, this is like going to be a legitimate gift. And not that it wasn't, but I open it up and I'm looking. It's just this little box.
Gift card.
No, and it's got this like it shows like this like square plastic device.
Bet you it's a human eyeball.
And then you see a toilet. And it's like lit up, and I'm still trying to connect. I'm like, what the fuck is?
What was
this
the
thing?
budget for this thing? $6?
$25. I think,
Okay.
or $20. And I'm like, I'm still trying to connect. I'm like, so what? I'm like, what is this? Oh, you clip it onto your toilet bowl, and it lights up your bathroom
kids
with
love
motion
those.
sensor.
My kids have one of these. Look, you don't have to turn on the lights and blind yourself when you got to go piss anymore.
Well,
They're
that's
genius.
That's okay.
And they glow different colors.
That's okay.
And then you piss all over it, and then you have to touch
if
it.
I have kids.
Yeah, you don't.
So
I was roaring
it was a fall from grace. Okay.
I was roaring laughing.
Hey, hold on. Those things are $25.
I don't know. 16. Yeah. Yeah. So
Could
obviously
have
it was a
picked
good
one up
one.
locally and still had money for something else.
So yeah, it was just because I was so excited for those 2 gifts. I got lucky to be stolen from and get an equally as good gift to then end up with the toilet light at the end. It didn't matter what it was.
Well,
I was still going to be disappointed.
Everybody needs to know what this last thing was. Can you say what it was? This Coombs' present? The one that's crazy? The
It was
crazy guy?
it was a pair of socks, and then our friends from NRC, they sent us a bunch of like
Promotional stuff.
He gave away
stuff.
free shit?
He gave away something free from the office.
Oh my God, you gave away NRC stuff?
He gave away an NRC.
That's my brother's
t-shirt.
company, Chalmers.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not saying the
This
stuff's
shit's
not
getting
good.
regifted. This is
Yeah,
good.
so he re-gifts a shirt.
That's good swag.
And then he bought socks that I guarantee you,
There's no way.
nowhere.
There was no way.
They're probably under $7. So
They
poor
were
Chris.
$23 shipping.
So poor
They were
Chris
$2.
has to take that. And another kind of funny thing that happened in the gift exchange. This is actually a funny topic, I guess. But so Joe got back the same, like a different version of the same gift that she put into the gift exchange. So she actually put together a Moscow Mule kit, and then the gift she took was a Moscow Mule kit.
Smart.
Jared, I wonder if he got one of them toilet light uppers.
Have you ever taken your own gift
I'll
in one
tell
of
you
those?
one thing.
Not
I'm
let
probably
anybody
not going
know
to open it
it
up, and it might show up in next year's gift exchange. Just kidding. I'll use it.
There's a Sons
Out
of
of spite.
Anarchy coffee cup from a couple years ago gift exchange in the drawer there still with a giant gun attached to
Yeah,
it.
that's me. Yeah. I got that with a couple Cineplex Odeon gift cards.
I got myself a little barrel. It's like a nice little barrel that you put a 2.6 of whatever you want in it. It's got a little tap. It's nice.
So I bought that gift.
Oh, like and
knowing,
you can pour drinks out of it?
Yeah.
I bought that gift, and I'm like, this is for bag milk. This is bag. And I kept saying, I'm like, this is your Brum barrel.
Yeah.
This could be your Brum barrel.
Shout
so
out.
then he stole it to take it. I was like, yes. See, it's all a game.
I brought the winner though. I brought the Jenga, the drinking Jenga.
Oh, geez. So we want to talk about the star of the show.
Let's just do that after the break. Jared's doing his little helicopter finger there, which means either we're about to party or we got to take a break. I'll take a break and then we'll party during the break. Back after this, Real Life Podcast.
SumoJerky.com. You've been through the gas station. You've seen all the flavors, teriyaki, black pepper, maybe extra hot, sweet chili. That's about as exotic as it gets. But if you subscribe to Sumo Jerky at SumoJerky.com, check them out online, enter your preferences. They source out the finest small batch, handcrafted ma and pa jerky from all over the world. They have all your favorite flavors, but it's high quality, handcrafted versions of your favorite flavors, and they get exotic as well. Exotic jerky from exotic animals, or play it straight and stick with beef. Enter your preferences at sumojerky.com. It shows up once a month. Deliver it as a gift if you like. Have it sent to your work for a little pick-me-up during the day. Sumojerky.com. Follow them on Instagram at sumojerky for pictures of their meat, or sign up for the service yourself. Sumojerky.com. Once a month, meat delivered right to your door. It's the home delivery service you didn't realize you need until it started showing up. My favorite day of the month is Sumo Jerky Delivery Day. Sumojerky.com to get started.
Oh, Sumo Jerky. We are on fire with the Christmas sales in the southern U.S. right now, Chalmers. Like, it's going good. Jerky business. Delicious. Also going well. It's a good gift, man. Christmas, like 75% of your jerky sold at Christmas time. Because people are just like, what am I going to get my Uncle Phil? Like, I don't know this guy. He shows up, this, that.
Maybe a toilet light?
Yeah, well, Sumo Jerky, though, man, I'm telling you,
That's
that
one of
is
those
the
cool,
move.
Yeah, that's one of those cool gifts that you don't think about. And then when you give it to somebody, they go, this is different.
And it comes throughout the
interesting, and I
year,
love it.
too.
Yep.
So you might not talk to Uncle Phil until next Christmas, but you've been in his heart and his mailbox the whole time.
That is cool.
So getting back to the Christmas party, bag milk. So Cam Coombsy, our boy, my fave, one of my favorite people on the internet is Cam Lewis. And one time we were upstairs talking like humans do, and I asked him something about his personal life or however he likes to live, and he goes, oh, I'm not interested in humans. I'm only interested in AI for like romance. And I was like, okay, whatever, millennials. Comes to the party with his girlfriend. What was her name? Sorry, babe.
Tamana. Very lovely.
Lovely gal. And I'm sitting there watching her speak like a normal person. And like, you know how you're never supposed to meet your heroes? Seeing Coom in a relationship with another human being really brought him down in my books. I thought Coom would show up with like a Japanese blow-up pillow and he'd be carrying it around, trying to slow dance with it on the dance floor and shit like that. Nope. There he was with a real lady. And I was like, what's he like in real life? Oh, he's so sweet and nice. I'm like, Coom is sweet and nice. Really?
Hey, you were grilling.
Oh, yeah.
You were probing in there.
Oh, I love Coom. He's such a good guy.
I think, though, that you were getting the highlight reel version of Coom.
Good.
Oh, you got his best version, I think.
I think so. I think that
he
he was on his best behavior when you were asking him questions, and you missed out on the shitting selfies that he was sending out a little bit later.
Well, he did leave and come back, and he was drinking a frappe from Starbucks. And I was like, where did you go? And he's like, Starbucks. Like, I know. There's only one reason you leave a nightclub, to go to Starbucks across the street.
Well, I knew because he was sending photos to the guys in their group chat about him just sitting on the. Can I say this?
Oh, yeah.
Sitting on the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell? Why is he doing this? Oh, he went over to Starbucks to
Use the facilities.
And so Coom comes back and he's sipping on like a nice
Yeah.
latte. And I'm like, Coom, what's up with that Starbucks in your hand? Oh, I went over there to take a shit.
Yeah.
Like
This guy's a non-apologetic
But he
shitter.
paid the toll.
Well, exactly. You got to
the
pay
toll.
the cover charge. That's respect. Well, of
Buy
using
the
their
drink.
bathroom.
Oh, I see.
If you going in there and not doing that, like I'd feel so guilty if I did that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm committing a crime.
Sure.
You got to buy.
You're committing a crime if you
I
go
know
in
bar.
the pint bathroom.
Yeah, it was...
Well, pint bathroom. Well,
Any
this
bar
is every
bathroom.
bar
This is not a
bathroom.
pint
Once
bathroom thing.
It's a busy night.
Bar bathroom thing.
Just that's a no-fly zone.
if you use the facilities in a nightclub, you've got something, either like a serious condition going on, and it's
Yeah.
fine. If it's
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
it's
you probably
Banyo
shouldn't-
911, fine.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
bets are off. Anything's game at that
Yeah.
point. But like, man, remember Stu Bendel telling the story about when he got slept in the nightclub? Was it Stu? Sleeping in the nightclub bathroom, woke up. He lived in Australia, our buddy, and he woke up one night. He'd been in the nightclub and he'd passed out, and he was on the stall in the nightclub, and the nightclub was completely shut. Like
Whoa.
the whole thing was closed.
And he was locked in.
He was locked in, so he like had to leave during a fire escape. And
I don't
it set
know if
the
it was
alarm.
him though, but yeah,
Was it Sam?
Yeah, I can't remember. It doesn't
Whoever
matter
it
who
was. Yeah. People,
It's
our
the
14
story.
listeners don't know anybody involved. So yeah, goes to the bathroom, passes out in the toilet, wakes up, the whole bar is shut, sets the alarm off, runs out of fire escape. 3 weeks later, does it again. Passes out again because he's
Hold
working
on.
shifts or something. And he's like, at least I knew how to leave the second time. He went back out the fire escape.
Oh, so he was working at the bar.
No. He just like been working a long shift and then went to the bar at the end of the night to let off, Friday night or
crazy.
whatever. But yeah, fell asleep twice in the nightclub toilet.
It's one of the weirdest things I've ever heard.
Girls having to use nightclub toilets, I legitimately feel bad for them. Because if you think that the boys' room's gross, wheel into the girls' room. It's no better.
It's disgusting.
I don't
Girls
even
are
want to
gross.
think about it.
They're gross.
don't want to think about it.
Yeah, me neither.
I want to talk about Jenga. How's that? Is that better than toilet humor?
I do like
Jenga.
Jared just gave us a thumbs up. He's like, man, none of this is making it to air.
that's about enough of that.
Did you hear the real life podcast this week? It was just 45 minutes of the Yale fight song.
We'll do a side podcast called Shit Stories, and we'll just tell all the fun ones of our friends that we probably shouldn't.
Oh yeah, frick. We've got
Frick?
Don't
Dare you say frick?
We know some guys who have done some funny things. But,
I've shit my pants at work before.
Come on.
It happened.
Where?
Not here.
No.
Old job.
Oh.
Yeah. Had to chuck the undies out. It was bad. It was a whole thing.
Oh, no.
Going bare balling in sweatpants, going back to my desk.
Hold on. You went to work in sweatpants?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, there's so many things going on here.
Any questions?
Yeah, I did. Come on, man.
Do I tell the story?
No, not right now.
The one in Lao?
No,
No,
not about
the-
me. No, I don't got any stories like
Is this
that.
a husky?
One of our buddies.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a hard story to reproduce. Though I've
It's
told that
long,
story to
and I think
people.
people
It's
have already
long,
been-
but you can.
Okay, let's
it's
just-
the punt, like when you get everyone there, and because it's all about the detail.
Yeah.
And then because when you describe the setting,
But what if people don't?
accurately,
Yeah, if you have to do that.
if you can visualize it, and then you hear what happened, it's fucking hilarious.
So-
I've tried to tell the story a few times and it just ended up being like, oh,
I'm
man,
just so
you had to
familiar.
be there when my buddy told the
yeah,
story.
I'm so familiar with that husky that I can lay the
That's
land
anyone,
out.
Yeah, anyone who's from West Edmonton who's been to that Husky in the West Ed,
170th Street and
yeah,
by
you
Sorrentino's.
would know the setup of that. You won't even need any description. We could just quickly tell you.
We'll do it in I think that's enough.
That's another. Okay,
14 listeners, 5 of them are in this room recording the show.
Come on, man. Finish the shitting story.
My sister's number 50.
Nobody
it's a
listening.
cliffhanger, folks. If
Desi,
here,
she loves it.
we'll put it this way. We'll put
15,
it this
yeah.
way. We have to do a call to action after this on social media. But if some of our listeners want to hear it, let us know.
Oh, I see. I thought you were going to ask them to send in their own stories. I'm
Oh,
like,
I'd like to see that.
No.
Send in your poo stories. Why not?
Milk.
DM
That's not a
Bag
bad
Milk
idea.
your own poo
This is a
story.
whole thing.
But
It's
if
a
you want to hear
terrible idea.
this particular story and me try to properly describe it and execute it, because if I do a good job, it's funny. If I do a good job,
I'll hold your hand along the way.
yeah. You let us know and we will tell it.
Jared, this one's called the crap episode.
So full of shit.
Yeah, Jenga and shit.
Okay,
well,
Jenga.
We got it. So that's the thing. We're doing 2 segments on the party. It was a fucking fun party, but Jenga came back.
Jenga came back.
I never thought Jenga would ever be part of my life ever again.
Mini Jenga.
Mini Jenga, drinking Jenga. It had
Yes.
little rules on each, not each one, but sometimes you pull out one and it says drink 2, or the guy to the left drink 2, or make a rule. And well, especially in the first game, we played Jenga. Like Chris, like the first tile he pulls out says make a rule. He's like, okay, no one can talk. We're like, Jesus, this is a Christmas party. Why are you being so lame? But what proceeded to happen was the most intense game of Jenga because no one could talk. So you're like, everyone's making noises when it's teetering, and everyone, like, you can just feel everything. It was the craziest thing. So it turned into so that was just the first game. And then it just turned into getting everyone got amped up their game, and we were setting Jenga records.
That second game probably went on for at least an hour.
At least an hour.
There was 4 of us. It was me, Chris, Jay, and Jared. And the level of competition.
Oh,
How does in a busy bar like that nobody bump the table?
We had human
perimeter? You
shield
set up a perimeter?
buffers. Oh,
No, we
yeah.
were boxed
Because it was
out.
that
Smart.
intense. Because people that were with us watching were realizing how crazy it was getting. We were almost to a point where you couldn't take a block. There was no more blocks you could take out.
At the place that I was at when I showed up, I saw you guys playing Jenga there.
Yeah.
I'm shocked I didn't just kick that table as hard as I
I'm
could.
surprised you didn't do. Yeah, you just didn't
I
jump
almost
on
got into a
table.
fight
That's the
for
type of shit that
standing
just
in the
drives me
bar. And these
crazy.
guys have half the bar roped off for Jenga, and I'm by myself in these mean streets 4 hours later.
You need the hands of a surgeon to have played the
We're
game
getting
that we
old,
had.
man.
No, you're what? We don't bow.
We're getting old. It's Jenga in bars, bowling on boys' trips.
What have you met a millennial? This is we're de-aging and we're fitting in.
No. Bowling on boys' trips
That's
is
a
just
touche.
kind of some filler activity during the day, man. Then we go crazy at night.
So who was the winner? You said you don't.
So
win.
Jenga's not about winning; it's about not losing.
Yeah.
Because one person knocks down the pile.
Who was the best? That's all I want to know.
Well, there was 3. There was it's I don't know. Bag Milk was good.
Yeah.
Chris the intern was surprisingly good.
This guy's good
He
at
still had-
everything.
He still had
Bowling
the
and
hot
Jenga.
hand after bowling.
Yeah, he was feeling
Evan the intern was on the outside looking in, talking mad fucking shit,
very confident.
confident, trying to fuck with everyone, whispering, trying to be a heckler, and just talking about how he was going to bring it. He came and played, and he was the one that knocked it down in his round.
Yeah, he sucked.
We didn't even go that far.
Evan's terrible.
Yeah, so it was the best game was Bagged Milk, Jared, Chris, and myself.
It got intense.
It got so intense.
That's what I was saying. Like, I love the competitive spirit at the Nation because nobody wants to knock that fucking thing down.
This is why I didn't want to watch that game and play catchphrase, the competitive spirit. I understand what he's getting, where he's coming from. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It was the final bowling group.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You guys really nailed the 4 best athletes and
Competitive day.
Well,
somewhat
you
athletes.
need to be athletic for Jenga, I can tell you that much.
No, you just have to be steady. And after a couple, you start to get less steady.
Well, and
can
just the
see
looks
how-
on everybody's faces, nobody wanted to lose. Everybody was so dead set on not fucking knocking the thing over that it was hilariously intense with no reason to be.
But what amazed me, it was everyone else was buying into the energy. Like we had so many people watching us because they thought it was because it was getting that crazy. We have to post a photo of the Jenga tower that we created.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I put it on my Instagram because it needed to be memorialized
yeah.
forever.
So, anyways, sorry, I had to.
So you
mention,
wanna talk
we had
football
I
yet?
had to mention Jenga.
You want to talk college football?
No, man, I got into the Jenga podcasting game for a reason. That's all I want to talk about.
Spectator Jenga Nation is going to be the next site in the network, and it is going to be huge.
Huge.
So I'm gonna keep trying to bring this back, but I think we got to keep it 100.
You're not going to tell the story.
What story?
The pooing one. I thought.
No, you're supposed to talk about
this
keeping
is
it
the
100.
time when we now tell everyone how we're keeping it 100.
Should we drop best and worst, which we never do anyways, and just do a keep it 100 rant each of us?
Sure, I like that.
Oh, just do a rant?
Well, everybody gets to keep it 100 and have a rant rather than a best and worst,
Well,
just something that you're livid about.
I'm telling you right now.
I'm down with
if
that.
I'm going to keep it 100
Yeah.
for the last 6 episodes, I have on my laptop taped on white paper so I can see it for every time we record the term Irish butter.
I saw that. I was wondering why you had
Remind
that.
me to say it.
Remember
You
when
If I'm
haven't.
keeping it 100, I keep fucking forgetting to say it and use it because it had its day. And it, if I
was a
kept
short
at
day.
it, it could have stuck. And so if I'm keeping 100, I'm just disappointed in myself.
You know who's really disappointed in you is the Irish dairy industry, who was hoping that Irish butter would go viral and they would move some units at Christmas.
That real life bump, they call it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, though, if you do get the chance to have Irish butter, you will notice it is far superior to any butter you have ever had in your life.
That's just keeping it 100.
That is keeping it 100.
Chalmers, you got anything you want to rant about?
Well, it should be good, right? It should be good. Okay, so
but
if I'm keeping it 100, I think every single person in Edmonton next year should try and buy tickets to the teddy bear toss at the Oil Kings game. I went with my kids and my wife, and it was awesome. Man, it was so much fun. So you know what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so after the very first goal, the Oil Kings score, everybody throws a teddy bear that they have brought onto the ice.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't buy one before you get to the game, you can buy them there. And
And then
all
the
goes,
guy who scores the goal gets all the bears?
yeah, 15,000 bears.
Sure.
Lucky guy. And then he's got
That's
to
how
sell
many
them
there
all on
were?
Kijiji. I think it was between, I don't know, 15 to 18,000. I heard it on the news, but I wasn't paying attention. But anyways, it was so much fun for the kids. The worst part about it was that all these people brought big, huge bears that they would sit on their laps. And it was like as much of a sellout as I've ever seen for an Oil Kings game. And they didn't score until like midway or something through the second period. So all these people are sitting there through the whole first, and every goal, every shot, we're just more and more anxious. And then finally, it happens on a goal that we weren't totally sure it wasn't going to get called back.
Oh,
it was,
shit.
Yeah, it was a mess. People were laying on the goalie, and I think people just started throwing the bears, and they were just like, okay, whatever, it's a goal. Let's just continue. And so then the Kamloops Blazers, they go to their dressing room because this is like now a 25 to 30 minute ordeal. Right? There's bears coming from the second row. They're nailing you in the head.
Yeah, like if you're seeing lower ball, which I did for the first time, BTW bag milk.
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
getting pegged with?
Yeah.
One had an eye.
We were lucky. We were like row 8, so we could get it to the ice, but we were also getting all the ones from above. So we were getting nailed in
Active
the head.
war zone.
So, yeah, and the kids were
boys
loving
loving it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were loving. But then you can get to a point where you're staring up and like you can see them and you can start to tell where they're going to go, and it's awesome. It's like a t-shirt cannon, and they just keep shooting bears at you. It was awesome.
What
And
happens
then-
if they don't score?
So they do it at the end of the game.
Ah, okay.
I had sat about halfway through the thing. Yeah.
That'd
so
be lame.
yeah.
Who'd you ask?
The
coach?
There are some intense Oil Kings fans at Oil Kings games.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I just asked one of them.
Fair enough.
And but they really crammed a lot into that game. They had every intermission, a lot, like 2 different events. They had a chuck-a-puck at the end of the game. They had the teddy bear toss. I bought some chuck-a-pucks, and man, we were getting tired. We just So we didn't stay for that one.
Oh,
Which
jeez.
because
You
you've
should've
won
just
one.
called me. Well,
Yeah,
I
the
know.
ringer.
And all I could think about was like, and so I came up with a whole strategy. I'm like, I'm going to be one of the last people to throw the puck. I'm going to watch where they're landing in front of me.
That clutters your lane, man.
Yeah, but you put yours right in the center because you figured out where you want to throw
There's
it.
guard
And next thing
rocks,
you
like
know,
curling it
things
that
are
way.
coming out of the way. They're knocking yours out of the way. I don't know. I thought being in the last 3 quarters
You
of
have
the
to
pucks.
throw high sauce, so it comes in and doesn't have much of a doesn't need much runway. Because if you need a little bit of a lane, but you need that lane.
That's true.
Unless you're planning to bounce pucks off of other pucks, but Daddy don't play like that. I go straight for the bullseye.
Jay does a speaking circuit where he goes and advises people on chucking pucks
chuck a puck?
because he is a gun puck chucker.
I'm proud of you.
He won one at in Moose Jaw on New Year's Eve last year.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to win, and then he came over the top at the last second and stuck it, and then he got a Noah Gregor jersey and
Signed. Game worn.
game stank, and then proceeded
wore
to
it
wear
all
it all night,
night.
which
All
was
night.
respectful.
Reeked like hockey.
Reeked.
Well, that's good. So, anyways, I'll keep it at 100. I just try to. I want to
Yeah,
conclude
no,
this because we can go into the other ones. But the teddy bear toss, it's amazing. All the players lay in the bears and take pictures, and they all help collect them. They're all on the ice as if they had like won a Stanley Cup or something, and they're just like taking pictures with the biggest bears. Anyways, it's a ton of fun. It's a great cause. You should go to it next year.
Wow.
What was the cause?
Sorry,
Santa's Anonymous.
That
all the
sounded-
bears go. So they sell all the bears, and all the money in selling the bears goes to Santa's Anonymous.
This sounds
and if you
like
buy
a
it-
sponsored Keep It 100 here, Chalmers.
I ain't
Do
got
you
nothing.
work for the
Did
Oil
you-
Kings?
Yeah,
No,
is there a
no.
hidden agenda
No,
here,
buddy.
Gordon
I was
Stracke?
just so like it was just such a well put on event, and like the fact that you could buy bears there, and that money went to Santa's Anonymous, and then you threw the bear on, and that went to Santa's Anonymous. It's just smart.
Double charity. That's what
Yeah.
that is, Wanye.
My family goes and does like a thing at Santa's Anonymous. I don't know. It's cool. They like it. It's big.
Aren't you just
We are
Well, I'm
so
gonna piggyback.
terrible.
This is very Christmassy, and to keep, if I'm keeping it 100, I've been listening all day to the Cascade Christmas album he just released on Spotify and Apple Music. All the classics, but like in electronica.
Oh, nice.
yeah, it's
nice.
nice. It's nice
Cascade.
fusion. It's nice fusion. Shout
I
out to
remember
Cascade.
that Cascade, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cascade
All right.
with
Who
Dead
that
Now
is?
5.
Let's take a break. We'll be back after this Real Life Podcast.
Alberta is where you find hard-working hands, where prairie-grown rye meets mountain spring water, where we pull dragons from the ground, and we choose Rig Hand Distillery. Vodka, whiskey, gin, and more. Rig Hand is made from Alberta-grown ingredients, locally distilled and distributed. It's a bottle of Alberta. Ask for award-winning Rig Hand in your liquor store and visit righanddistillery.com.
Rig Hand Distilleries, our best friends on earth, makers of Brum, makers of Nation Vodka. If you are sitting back and saying to yourself, I don't want to buy somebody beef jerky for Christmas, or I want to buy them beef jerky for Christmas, but they need something to wash it down with, go to righanddistilleries.com. Front landing page, Nation Vodka, cool bottle. Buy yourself one of those. Buy one for someone you love. Buy one for someone you hate. Buy one for someone who's at the pint at midnight and missing a tooth. That's our friends at Rig Hand Distillery. Anybody can drink that stuff.
Imagine they had vodka toss night at Oil King games.
Yeesh. Have to be plastic
Might
bottles.
make a mess.
Hand grenade night.
Hand grenades, yeah.
People are having fun too with the Brum element of the win casts I'm doing after Oilers wins.
Well, now that you got this beautiful barrel.
Beautiful barrel, beautiful bottle.
Oh, love
They're
the
both going to be displayed for the next win that's coming up tomorrow. Yeah, people are having fun.
Confidence.
Is it a shot of Brum? Just one shot? One
I just
ounce?
make myself a little Brumski,
Yeah.
little Brum.
So do you have to drink on times you don't want to drink?
Yes.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes
One
it just
rum.
clears it up.
Does it ever start you up for something you didn't expect?
Like last night, I had a hard time going to bed because I left Roger's place, went home to do the Brum cast, and I was just fired up after I had a drink. I didn't want to go to bed. So that can happen. I was like, if somebody would have texted me at that moment and said, we're going out, I'm out. And we would have rolled in here today
are the
stanking
risks.
like booze.
Those are the risks.
Bag Milk, you want to keep anything 100?
Yeah, you know what? If I'm keeping it 100, I'm going to go ahead and give the Oilers a little bit of credit for improving their in-game experience. Last night was my first game of the year at Rogers Place. No crowd shots during the play or in between plays. They were doing little Photoshop videos. They were doing highlight packs. They were doing a lot more actual stuff to keep people engaged in between games. And I just want to give them a little bit of appreciation because we've shit on them countless times for their in-game presentation. So I think that they also deserve a little bit of credit for trying to improve things. And if I'm keeping it 100, I am all in on Hunter.
Oh yeah, he was amazing.
Hunter, in my section, Jesperson's doing his t-shirt toss thing. A big roar comes out in my section, and he kind of like looks around a little bit. He wasn't doing anything. What was actually going on was Hunter jumped up onto the hand railing near the glass and walked up all the way to the top of the stairs.
Other, buddy.
Man, this cat's got skills. And I am all about Hunter. If I'm keeping it 100, I am happy with the Oilers trying to improve it. There's still some room for improvement. I like the marching band. I'm into it. You don't like it, and you don't like music. If I'm keeping it 100, Hunter has very much grown on me since the terrifying cat that I first saw when he was unveiled a couple of years ago.
Yeah, those eyes are piercing, but the guy in the Hunter suit, assuming it's not actually a real life cat that learned to walk on its hind legs, does a masterful job.
Yeah, he does a great job.
Like he just goes and sits in the middle of the row with people. Like he's went to mascot school and graduated cum laude.
And you've talked about it before as well. Kids love Hunter.
Love Hunter.
Like there was this little girl that was so excited that he stopped on the stairs to take a picture with her. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all
I'm going to give Hunter some credit.
Yeah.
First of all, that rail walk, kudos to you, my friend. I was a mascot in high school. I know what those shoes feel like. You're walking up a handrail? Get the fuck out of here.
Now hold on.
One from one mascot to another.
Now just hit pause on the old word box there. You were a mascot in high school?
That's right.
What type of animal were you?
What high school? Can we guess? Edmonton.
No.
Oh, okay, never
Small
mind.
town north of the city. It was a wolf.
Oh.
Wanya.
Did
And
you have to be
actually,
on all fours?
yes, but that was for a different reason. I'm also a furry.
I was gonna say. Jeez,
No, so I was the mascot. I went into the competition. I did it as a joke. I pulled off the worm in the mascot costume, and then I won. Then I got to miss some school to go hang out with the varsity volleyball team.
Female?
Both.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
The wolf was open to anything.
Were you a crowd fan?
Hungry like the wolf?
That's right. I got suspended as the mascot
Oh.
because I pulled my tail between my legs and I'd hump stuff.
Classic wolf
maneuver.
joke.
Classic.
Yeah.
So when you became the mascot, did you have to like come up with new things? You can't just live on the wolf or the worm.
No, I also had a pot and a spoon.
Yeah.
That was my go-to. I'd
You
go
just
into
bang
the
'em?
other team's huddles and I'd pot and spoon. Oh, they don't like that.
Oh, yeah.
good
Chichester,
mascot.
that's good. Exactly.
Good mascot.
Gotta mix it up.
Yeah, you got to be
You ever see
disruptive.
Hunter at events like for mascots and former mascots?
Yes, we all
guild.
get together once a year. Put out this nice charcuterie board.
Like
we all
Avenger.
enjoy ourselves.
Play Jenga.
Yes.
You guys aren't allowed to take your hats off, so you
Yeah, no, everybody
can't eat
break
actually eat the
fourth
food.
wall.
They just comically stuff it into their mask
Yeah,
mouth.
shirts and shorts, but everybody's got the head on. It's nice. Black tie affair.
Well, if I'm going to keep it 100, I hope so badly that there is a Battle of Alberta in the playoffs.
Oh,
Like, when's the last time? We're trying to think of this last night. 89 was the last Battle of Alberta, right?
Oh, I
I'll look
don't
at
know.
it.
There might have been one in the early 90s.
Was there? I was trying to think if there was, though. I
have no
honestly
idea.
think it was the Steve Smith year,
don't
which
know.
would be 30 years ago,
Yeah, fuck.
right?
Crazy.
But between Lucic punching Smith in the head last year and then the last Battle of Alberta game being 100, and last night's game was very entertaining. Like, I was surrounded by Flames fans, and it was all very amicable and everyone's chummy, but it was like good to go back and forth with these guys. Like, it is, and gals, it is fun if the Battle of Alberta returns.
well, what you're saying is like when we went down to Calgary, the Oilers had that first 40 minutes was lights out good. We were chirping Flames fans as you do.
Of course.
But then when the tables turned, we got it piled on even more so as we're leaving. Man, it was all in good fun. Everybody's having a great time. There's
Everyone
no
had full
malicious
teeth.
intent.
It's okay to receive it from time to time, provided you can dish it as well. But so the thought of a Battle of Alberta playoff series is very stressful to me.
Sure.
But it's a good kind of stress in the sense of like the playoffs are already stressful, but like adds another element just for the sheer fact of like you've got to fucking win that series because you've got a bullet in your gun for the next 12 months over everyone from Calgary when
Absolutely.
you beat them.
But that
Last
would
time
be-
Wanye was 91.
Oh, 91.
91.
Okay, so that was, yeah, okay, so the year after the Cup.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that was in the first round. Flames defeated. No, that was going back. Yeah, last time was 91.
Who won that one?
Flames,
Flames
they won
did.
the cup in '91, didn't they?
No,
Oh, I won the Cup in 89.
89.
Looks like the Flames
91
did
was
that
the
one.
Pittsburgh Penguinos.
Oh, you guys are good.
Sorry, Bagmo.
No.
Calgary one?
I was a Liberty
Looks like it.
fan.
Bastards.
And then
I'm going through
Oilers won it
Wikipedia.
90?
We know
what was
it's-
last year? They won it with just Mess as
90.
captain. Yeah, 90.
It's not like I'm asking Bag Milk a question live on a podcast. Please have a secondary conversation, Charles.
What was the question you were asking me?
I was
I'll
trying to
answer
figure-
right off the top of my head. What was the answer? What was the question?
Texas.
It was Calgary.
I think that as we're coming out of the decade of darkness and we're trying to rebuild our morale and our esteem as Oilers fans and stuff like that, certainly Connor leading the league doesn't hurt. But a Battle of Alberta playoff series would bring so many people back on board the bandwagon. It would be amazing.
Need at least one more before they go to Houston, right?
That's right.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's me keeping it 100. I hope that the Battle of Alberta comes back and they, the fire gets reignited and the mayor of Red Deer has to decide which side to be on and all that bullshit.
Switzerland.
I have been to both Battle of Albertas thus far this year, and I feel as though, and Jay, correct me if I'm wrong, more Oilers fans collectively at both games than Flames fans. I felt like it was at least 50-50 in Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
And last night there was not as many Flames fans at Rogers Place as I would have expected.
It's because people from Calgary just have their noses up and they just think they're too good for Edmonton. And plus, you know what? It also proves that, like, really, how many Flames fans are there? Not enough. Not very many.
Like
actually.
Ross Creek.
Yeah, to like assemble.
He's actually an Oilers fan. Let's be honest.
Is he?
Nobody talks about another team that much without enjoying their ice content, if you know what I'm saying. That's my theory.
It's a fair statement.
He can go ahead and say, no, I'm just critical of the Oilers. No, bro, you listen to all our talk radio. You tweet about them 50 times a day.
Yeah.
You're an Oilers fan.
Somebody hit me with it was like an infographic of all my words I'd said tweeting.
Yeah, that's
seen
cool.
this
I
thing?
got one of those too.
Someone tagged
Mine's
me in one?
of a bummer, though.
Why?
I complain a lot.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Mine's just gibberish. I was looking at it. I didn't really understand what it was. It's like a cloud based on like the more you use words, the bigger and smaller they get. It's pretty funny. But nothing negative. I say ye a lot, apparently.
Oh, ye.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember saying that, though. But I
There was
suppose Twitter
several
knows better.
beat variations in mine. That was upsetting to me.
Yeah.
A lot of McDavid's. Nuge was a big letter in mine.
Oh, that's good. As it
Is
should be.
Dan wearing pants?
I don't actually know.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He tweeted yesterday he's wearing pants, and I think he's wearing pants today.
They're over 500. He has to be wearing pants. Or otherwise, he's just modifying the rules of his own game.
He's just a guy wearing shorts at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason.
So 3 different people I saw at the game last night wearing shorts. This is what made me think of it. I was like, are people getting on board with Dan? No, it can't be Dan because they're over 500.
It is 4 degrees outside and raining, so that is short weather.
Oh, we're trapped in
December.
Riverdale. No one's getting out of here alive.
No.
No one's getting out of here alive. Bag Milk, how much time we got? Said Don McLean.
We might need to add to that, depending how heated I get on what's about to be said here.
We had one thing written down we wanted to talk about. We haven't gotten to it yet, so let's do right by our 4
You know
lists.
what I have written on
Florida
mine? Mine
college
says
football?
Talbot, good guy, and that's it.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Oh,
I think
I
you also
assume-
drew boobs if I'm looking top right.
Well, I started drawing eyes,
I don't know.
and I got keep 100, and then boobs.
And
Well,
boobs.
if I'm going to keep it 100, boobs are awesome.
Yeah, no, hey, fair enough. So Andrew Ference did an interview
That's right.
with Friedman.
He was on the 31 Thoughts podcast with Jeff Merrick and Elliot Friedman. It's a fine podcast, Wanya.
I don't
However-
listen to podcasts.
Soon to be 32 thoughts, I believe.
Yeah, so 32 Thoughts.
Found another thought.
You have to grind that last thought out.
It's going to take a minute.
Talk to me.
So he goes into, obviously, I thought it was important when I was listening to this to remember the context in which Andrew Ference was an Oiler. These were dark days. There was no happiness in the Aikens era. And so I wasn't expecting him to be complimentary, let's say. But he was taking shots at guys without naming names, if you know what I'm saying, Wanya.
Hit me with some quotes.
Okay, let me find something that's inspiring for you. He talks a little bit about Lucic. I'll just go over that real quick. He talks about Lucic, the pressure of being a big ticket guy, how that's affecting him, and how it must be rattling the guy that he's going from a prominent role on a team like the Bruins to a third line role with the Oilers, and how that's a mind fuck for a guy as he gets older. But the interesting stuff that he was talking about came more about the culture of the team, the culture of the players around the team. And this is where I get, and the media specifically. I think the quickness of radio and newspaper or fans to jump in and attack their own guys in Edmonton is horrible. I remember Jeff Petrie or Justin Schultz getting raked over the coals and nobody ever coming to defend them. Then the team trades them when their value has been beaten down for months on end and then moving them for nothing. It's not just for those guys, but it's for the other guys on the team. You're looking at that and saying, woof, they don't have his back. Are they going to have mine when it's my turn to be the whipping boy? Chalmers, you got thoughts?
Well, yeah, I hadn't heard anything about this, but he's actually naming names, eh? Like he says that about Lucic, he names.
Yeah, he's actually
that's
complimentary
fine.
on Lucic.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
talking about how he's just.
So he's not wrong, to be honest with you.
He's not wrong about any of this, as far
No.
as I'm concerned. But it was interesting to kind of hear his take on it, because that was a really dark era
Yeah.
of the Oilers' time.
Yeah.
So
Who do you think he's naming
So-
without naming names?
do you want to guess? Because I've got answers.
Oh,
I want to
Reason-
guess at who wasn't coming to their backs.
Yeah, or just problems with
Coming
the
to their
organization.
backs.
Like
So,
that's what
and
you
this
said.
is
Coming
specific
to
to his
to
era?
have their back.
This is specific to his time with us.
Yeah, specific to his time in Edmonton.
What can I just
Taylor
safely
Hall?
assume? Taylor Hall.
Well, I mean, he talks about players with love of toe drags. So take that as you will.
So sorry, they're saying without saying that Taylor Hall defended nobody?
That's
Right.
Borbin
And
Eberle.
as a leader of the team, he should have come to have these players' backs when they were getting raked over the coals by the
Shouldn't
media.
he have had all the players' backs as the captain with a big Bruins tattoo in his bicep?
He talks about the need to win. And I think the most frustrating part for me as a player was when I went there straight from Boston, and where in Boston, talk is cheap. Dallas Eakins is a fantastic coach, and there's another whipping boy that got dragged over the coals. He was a fantastic coach and guy that was dealt a pure crap hand in a team that wouldn't actually listen. You had a group of players that talked about how they wanted to make the playoffs and talked about how sick they were of losing. But then by game 3, after losing 6-1, they'd go straight out to the bar until 3 a.m, lighten up the nightlife in Edmonton. Like, come on, give me a break. At that point, it was ridiculous.
So weren't Dallas Eakins and Andrew Ference were like workout buddies? Then they'd go and do like
Cycling buddies.
triathlons together, cycling buddies. So of course he's going to have his back. I don't think he was a great coach. I don't think anybody would say that he was a great coach unless you were a cycling buddy of his. But isn't it also the coaches? Like, I don't know. Whose job is it to get these young players not to go to the bar when they lose 6-1?
The lifestyle was way more important than playing the game and making the playoffs. Like I said, they'd say it, but talk is cheap. Even in practice, I came from a group where you're practicing against guys like Bergeron and Chara, and you're going against each other with in-game intensity. And that's how we got better. That's how you become a playoff contender, and that's how you become a champion. You try to instill some of those values. We had other guys that had been on playoff teams as well, and they had the same frustrations as I did. They'd come into practice hard, and there's a group of guys that were too cool to try hard, and they even had derogatory terms for trying too hard in practice. That's the culture right there.
That is Taylor Hall talking. Taylor Hall for sure had derogatory terms for people who tried hard. Guaranteed.
Oh yeah.
You come in as an older guy, but far from being one of the better players on the team. So you can be a leader from experience, but not a game changer. Your voice only goes so far with people who only respect how good your toe drag is or whether or not you're out there partying. Your voice doesn't carry much weight with the people who don't put value on those aspects that I was bringing in from Boston or that Dallas was trying to install in the team.
So Taylor Hall was a leader of a little crew. We have to assume that unfortunately our little boy Nuge was in it.
Nope.
No.
How do we not think that?
Nuge
doesn't go out.
Nuge doesn't go out.
Everly?
Ever.
Everly, yeah.
Of course. Or
Everly's
and a
part of
Robin.
the crew. They're tied at the hip.
But I don't see Everly being the kind of guy that would like lead the pack. I see him being like third man in giggling type guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think that Ference is wrong, right?
No, I think he's quite accurate, and it's
My issue with Andrew
shame.
Ference, it is a shame, but when you bring in, Ryan Whitney to me is the poison that made all this happen. You bring that guy in with his sassy attitude and he came in here and corrupted all these kids. I think it is a failure of culture, right? We've heard stories about Hall. We know that they love to be on the town. I saw them most of the nights. I was out of the town too. But what drives me nuts was in 2015, the National Post said that among NHL players, Edmonton was rated as the worst place in the league to play. Remember that?
yeah.
Not a single Oiler came out in defense of the city or defense of the team. And Ference was the captain. And when you got a national publication slagging your team, you have an obligation, I think, to respond. So when he's saying like nobody stood up for each other and blah, 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 in my mind, that was like if Andrew Ference had come out when that newspaper article came out and said, this is the best place to play, even if he's lying.
But in 2015, I think Ference was on Ference Island, wasn't he?
I think he might have been on the
Yeah,
peninsula
he
at
has
that
already
point.
been like boxed out, so he's probably just mad at the organization.
Oh, well, fair enough.
The
organization was a toxic cesspool. I don't necessarily know that it's moved that far away from it since then. Right?
Like, you have to think management knows that that's happening because.
Do they?
Your captain's probably going to if it's consistent, your captain's going to go and relay that information, or your veterans are going to relay that information. And so if he's saying him and other vets are coming in and saying and feeling the same things, that information must be known to someone or flow up. And clearly nothing was being done about it.
But it wasn't only frustrating, but it also pissed me off to waste years of your NHL career. You never get those back, and you see a coach like Dallas get treated unfairly as well. Was he perfect? No. He'd be the first to admit that he'd do some of those things differently, but taking the blame for everything that went on, what are you supposed to do with a culture like that? Going on a little bit about just the overall vibe of Edmonton. Being from Edmonton, and I grew up in Sherwood Park, I've seen it a million times. There's always a sacrificial lamb on the team that just gets roasted by radio guys and newspaper guys, and then the fans just pile on.
What about us? We roasted him too. Andrew, geez Louise, not even.
So was there not a contingent
No,
of veterans? Like, this is what happens when you have a team full of young kids. Like, you can't expect them to know they just came from juniors where they were the best players on their team. Yeah. They're playing World Juniors where they're the best players on their team, and they come here and you're expecting them to act like pros right out of the gate, or even your
veterans are supposed to mold them.
So
your veterans are bloody Ryan Whitney. Ryan Whitney was the guy running the whole dressing room when these kids started out.
And Andrew Ference, I don't know, man. That sucks.
For sure. But I think that, like,
it's funny because, like, the thing on Ryan Whitney is like obviously if you listen to Spit and Chicklets, like, players love him. But I think they love him because he's like the party guy, good guy. And so that kind of builds a bigger culture of that stuff and not,
He's the snide talking kid at the back of the class who's always got a joke, right?
It's really tough to play there when things are not going well and be the center of so much negativity. I don't care who you are, the negativity gets to you, and it usually doesn't help you out at all.
Oh, I would fully agree with that. I think that the counterpoint to all this, though, is that it's astounding to me people have stuck with this team as long as they have. Mm-hmm. I don't think, when you're talking about the sacrificial lamb, he's not wrong. I mean, look at Petrie.
Yeah, there's no reason to trade him.
Ran out of town.
Schultz, we pushed into a position he was not ready to be in, and then shit on him for not being able to perform.
When Mac T's saying that he's going to be a Norris candidate, and then Mac T's saying about Dubnyk, if you have to ask the question, and then I think for sure that the boys in the bus are immune to all criticism.
Yeah,
but they're quasi scared, and that's why they'll throw a Jeff Petrie under the bus and run him out of town when fans get mad at him.
Yeah.
But they aren't looking within to actually change the culture. So when Taylor Hall or whoever's being corrupted by whomever, maybe it isn't Whitney, but just it is. And
he'd be a part of that team. Like, Taylor Hall's also just as guilty
for sure. But if he doesn't have, if Taylor Hall's original mentor in the NHL is the guy who went to Winnipeg afterwards, our boy
Hendricks.
Yeah, if Hendricks is his initial mentor, he's going to be thinking one way, and we remember that story.
Yeah,
right. So I don't think that necessarily Ference is saying anything here that's like wrong. I wonder what he would say, what you should be cheering for as an Oiler fan for 10 years of not making the playoffs. The fact that people are getting together to diss whoever's on the team is astounding when they could have done a Chalmers and started watching East Texas football or whatever the hell most people did.
The most frustrating thing is it just should never have happened ever. Like, that's like, how does a team allow itself to be like that? Like, you look at these winning, like, long-time winning organizations, and they get their players to put in the work.
Yeah.
They get them to buy in. So why is it different here where the tail wags the dog?
Yeah. Because I think you've got a group of executives running this team with zero accountability.
Well, and that part where he talks about guys making fun of dudes who work too hard in practice.
That drives me nuts.
Where's Dallas Aikens to be accepting of people slacking off in practice?
Oh, exactly.
Why wasn't Taylor Hall benched ever in his career?
Healthy scratch him. Like, you gotta set
exactly.
You got to set the tone there. Like, you see people that are late for a team.
Could you imagine the
getting
uproar
healthy scratch
that would happen in the media if he benched Taylor Hall?
No, I think it would have sent a message.
But you got to say why, or don't
say everybody.
You lose the cool guy in the room, and then you lose five other guys.
Remember when Dallas benched Sagan? Dallas was up in the press box in his rookie year because he missed
Boston bench.
Yeah, sorry. Boston benched Sagan. I can't remember why. It was like he missed the team.
He missed a practice or a meeting or something.
accountability means if you walk in and you're the coach and you see a room full of little shits, you got to break them up. Do you think Hitchcock would put up with that shit?
Well, that's what I was just going to say. There's no fucking way Hitchcock would allow that.
Yeah, well, and the good news is since all this is now Connor McDavid is now leading our team,
And he's not making fun of people for trying hard.
and
in
he's
practice.
not.
He's trying hard to be
trying harder
awesome.
than anyone.
Yeah.
So he's going in, putting in the work.
Yeah.
Hopefully that becomes addictive. You surround him with some good leadership veterans that can help kind of push that culture. But like Connor's going to stand for that. Like just like we always said, he would have signed off on the Taylor Hall trade. He knew Taylor Hall is bad on your team.
Yeah.
He's a talented hockey player.
Yeah, very
but he's
talented.
a bad character on the team.
Yeah.
I've also heard that Nuge knew as well. Just got a little tip that
Well, of
when
course,
this was
Nuge,
going on.
Nuge should know everything. Fucking the Nuge is playing so well, and it's just like it's Nuge is quiet, right? And hopefully people like he leads by example. Like that guy is working his ass off on both ends of the rink, and it's so awesome to see. Like we got him and Connor, and hopefully now like Dry is showing a little bit of that. You know, like we're starting to get a little bit of momentum here, and I think the Hitchcock effect is also adding to that. Like we won a 1-0 game last night
Second time in a week.
against like the hottest team in the NHL.
That team has
Which
scored
drives
9
me
goals
nuts to say about that.
less than a week ago.
Last thing I want to bring up is he talks about the media coverage in Edmonton, which one I kind of thought is funny. Tried like A-Rod got a free pass in New York when he played there. But anyway, he's like, I think there's a lot of things that go into it. That aspect of feeling scared to make a mistake and be the whipping boy rather than being bold and taking your chances and having the confidence to try play. I think that some guys might get into that role of just being scared to be the whipping boy. I don't know if that makes sense. Your urge to win and be bold is less than your urge to not be the whipping boy or stand out in a negative light. So I think that is one aspect. I think the quickness that radio or newspaper or fans jump and attack their own guys is absolutely horrible. I think that quickness to defend players within the organization is horrible.
I don't think he's wrong.
I can agree with it as well.
I like Ference for the record, right? I think
sure.
he's like a good dude, eco
Amazing
warrior.
Edmontonian.
Yeah, great. Goes and supports things, does a lot of good stuff. Doing a post-mortem as to why we missed the playoffs for 10 years, I think is like painful to listen to, but sure.
He's actually putting it in a better perspective than a
for
lot
sure.
of people have.
For
Well,
sure.
The issue with, and this is Canadian teams, right? And it's because we love the game so much.
And
is
we
that
know the game.
Everyone's an armchair GM.
But when you make the playoffs 1 year in 11.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I know. So like as armchair, we are going to dissect the team and we are going to have a whipping boy.
Sure.
Like, that just kind of happens, and that's just the nature of the beast of being a Canadian market.
Yeah.
I bet you in major NFL markets, the fans are shitting
Philadelphia,
on one, Yeah.
Chicago, those
They're,
places
they're,
go
they're
crazy.
shitting on one player for that because they live and die by their team.
I just think that to come in here, 3 years later and dig up shit that doesn't have anything to do with where we're at now is, come on, man.
That's true. It's unnecessary, but it is valid to note that it's probably all right.
Yeah,
And
but
you have to
so we're
agree.
through the sporting side of it. We're through the hockey side of it, where the guys on the team aren't acting like this anymore. But we still have the same media people in the city,
Yep.
and if they don't hear this kind of thing, they will never change. And maybe they're too old to change. And I don't know. Maybe that's why he's doing it. Who knows? Maybe
I
he's
get
trying
all
to
my
get it off
news-
his back. Because maybe his career ended here, right? Like he probably thinks a lot about that, and he probably thinks that it could have been. I mean, he says in the piece, doesn't he say, "I could have had a longer career," or I knew this was the end of it.
Well, he
And-
wasted some years of his NHL career. And yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. But I think burying the decade of darkness, the reality is not a single player except the Nuge is still here from those days.
Longest serving Oiler, which is
Right?
crazy.
Everyone else
I
is
know
gone.
because it feels like he's been here for 3
He's
years.
a Teflon Don. Nuge is great. Nothing
Isn't it
sticks
nuts
to
that
the-
he's the longest serving Oiler, though? Like, if you look at those original Hope posters that we all saw back in the day,
Yeah.
the last man standing, the dude has been around 100 years and he's still just turned 25 this year.
Yeah. So I think number one, all the people they're talking about are gone. Number two, Connor, as you mentioned, Jay, is now in. There's a different regime going on. They've had 8 coaches in 10 years. So that shows a propensity to throw the coach under the bus and rather than blaming the program. But with the exception of that and Chiarelli, everybody's the same.
Yeah, the
That's
media
what-
and the fans are the same.
The team can't fire Jim Matheson.
No, you can't, but you can try. I mean, the more people that come out and say, like, hey, the reason you guys are bad is partly to do with you. Don't make them a whipping boy. Give people a chance. Like, we didn't say good things about Koskinen right off the bat. I don't know about me, but like, I don't really remember saying anything good about him after a preseason game, we were like, this fucking guy is brutal. And then all of a sudden, he's like the brightest of bright spots on this team. That's got a lot of bright spots.
If you're any sort of rational fan watching from 2007 to 2015, you stop watching.
Yeah, but we can
You're either enjoying.
What I'm saying is we can all learn.
Yeah,
Just maybe
I also think one thing
hold
that
the rope a little
the media in this city doesn't necessarily do is admit when they're wrong. I will happily admit I was wrong on Koskinen because the fucking dude is on fire right now.
Yeah.
I am
Like,
happy to be wrong.
I will still chirp his technique, but I'll be one of his biggest supporters.
I don't
100%.
want to be mad at the Oilers. I want to go to Oilers games and watch them win and be happy and go to watch the 3 stars and clap for everybody and buy a branded garbage can on the way out. Unfortunately, the program has denied me my excitement. You think you've wasted years of your life, Andrew? Think about me. I'm going to live to be 95 years old because I didn't have any binge drinking from 2007 to 2015.
Well, that's one of
that
the
culture
interesting
that's
parts.
changing too.
Like he wasted years of his career, but there was only a small little taste of it.
Sure, and he was
For all
also
of
paid
us-
millions of dollars for his trouble.
For all of us that are here,
Paying
we're
millions
still
of
here.
dollars. Exactly.
We're still here.
I feel bad. They showed a guy, and we got to go. Jared's given up even waving his hands in the air, but that's fine. We can edit out everything about poop earlier.
Oh, you're getting Yale fighted.
That's fine.
Oh, you have a point.
Yep.
Get it
Points to
across.
song.
Sing it to the music. Just like that.
Oh, man, you can't turn the song on
You
and turn the
had,
song
you
on.
had something on fire that was going to be said.
I saw it.
It's gone. This podcast is over. Real Life Podcast. See you next week.